Good morning from Woodstock, Georgia. My name's Betsy and I'll be applying for the 2015 wildcard position with Road to the Horse. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I started riding when I was 10 years old at a local lesson barn up in the south suburbs of Chicago. So I learned how to ride on naughty little lesson ponies all the way through grade school and high school. I then moved down to the southeast, Savannah, Georgia, midway through my high school year, and at that point I started taking lessons again there locally. I went off to college at Georgia Southern University, found a local barn up there. At the time, Georgia Southern University did not have an equestrian team. A few girls that I met at the local barn that I was taking lessons at, we were all college age, and we got together and decided to start our own equestrian team. So my freshman year we got that started, and I anchored the team for the remaining 4 years of my college career, being the president over it for the last 2 years of my college career. During that time I had the great opportunity of getting to know some of the local folks that had their own horses. One person in particular was Benny Earl Deal, who's now passed away. He was a retired farmer when I was in college, and as he retired out of his farming business one piece at a time, he started putting money into a small breeding facility for quarter horse. His quarter horse stud that he had at the time that I was there was Son Akusa. He is of a halter line, and his idea was to breed halter horses that could ride. So his brood mare consisted of a bunch of riding stock, quarter horse mares, dock bar lines, and such like that. It was just a small operation, a small country operation, but it sure did give me a whole lot of opportunities to really work with horses. Up until college, every hour that I had spent with a horse I actually had to pay for through lessons and situations like that. So this was the first opportunity that I could experiment, spend as much time as I wanted with horses. He had horses of all ages. He had weanlings, yearlings, brood mares, stallions, and a handful of mares that were of riding age that he would have a show to advertise his stallion. So got a lot of great experience there. I even started my first horse there, and at that point I was hooked on colt starting. It was a great experience, and I really enjoyed developing the mind of a young horse. So I graduated college with a degree in biology. I was pre-vet, thought about going into vet school, but decided I'd prefer to work with horses rather than on horses. So once I graduated college, I did use my degree for a couple of years. I found myself in a quality control lab testing polymers for a company in the southeast. And for this outdoor girl, that just wasn't going to cut it. I really missed the horses, really missed the horse time, and found my way back into horses around 2000. So in 2000, I started to beg horse time off of friends that I knew that had horses, whoever would let me ride. And during that time, I also was looking for a way to further my education in horsemanship, and that's where media really played in. I was able to find initially the Pirelli Home Study, Natural Horsemanship, and dove into that. I was kind of in a rural area that didn't have a lot of good instructors that I felt, with my background riding in college, were at the level to teach me and take me where I wanted to go with my horsemanship. So in this day and age, it's great that we've got people like Clinton Anderson and Chris Cox and Craig Cameron and Pat Pirelli, all of which, the Road to the Horse program has really boosted them into a bigger spotlight than they were before, and helped us normal people. I'm not a horse person. I always loved horses growing up. I didn't grow up in a horsey environment, but their knowledge enabled me to go home to my living room, study, go out and practice on horses, and really develop my skills. So within a few years, early 2000, I started to train publicly. I started horses, I worked on problem horses, just whatever I could do to better the horses that came to me. At that point, I had been training for a few years, and I got the opportunity or the invitation to try a Mustang makeover, and it was a great opportunity for me. I was looking for a way, something that would challenge me, that would challenge my horsemanship, really be able to assess where I was with my horsemanship. And I did my first makeover. It was in Florida, and I had the horse for 60 days. It was one of the shortest turnovers that the Mustang Heritage Foundation, that puts together the Extreme Mustang Makeover, did at the time. I had a little mare. I got her started under saddle. 60 days we were out there performing in front of big crowds, and in a field of about 45 trainers we placed 4th overall. At that point I was hooked, and I had no idea how much learning I would do over the next few years. I've now done 13 Mustangs, and they have definitely been my biggest educators since I had discovered the natural horsemanship programs out there. They've been my biggest teachers for sure. And from this point, like I said, I've done 13. I get invited back to the Mustang Magic, which is the invitation-only Mustang makeover. It takes place during the Fort Worth Stock Show, and I make the cut with my regional performances with my Mustang makeovers. I place top 10. They invite me to the Mustang Magic, and I've been there for 5 years now. In 2013, last winter, I actually took the title on a nice little Palomino mare. And this year, I didn't quite take the title. I was kind of a little bit behind the 8 ball. My mare didn't perform well the first 24 hours that I was on property and competing. But we ended up moving from 17th place, where we started, all the way up to 5th place in a couple of days. And my last 2 performances were absolutely fabulous. She ended up reserve in the trail class, and you'll actually get to see my freestyle performance that I did for the finals that moved us from 10th place all the way up to 5th place with all the other competitors. It actually was the highest scoring freestyle of the weekend with this little mare. So very excited about that. The other horse that you're going to see in my showcase video, he's my old thoroughbred trainer. I say old, he's probably about 14, but we've had a long history together. And I'm going to showcase some Liberty groundwork that I do with him, also some bridleless riding that I've done with him, and some collection that I've done with him. So those are the showcase horses that you're going to see. Now, the horse that I started this year and videotaped the start of, she's kind of an interesting mare. She's about 8 years old. She's a little on the older side. Unfortunately, in Atlanta, it's harder to get your hands on a horse that's not really been handled, much like the 4/6's horses, but this was as close as I could come to. She belongs to a client of mine. My client acquired her when they bought the property that she lived on. She ended up remaining on the property, 1, because they couldn't catch her, 2, she hadn't been handled and probably wouldn't load on a trailer if they could catch her. And, you know, a horse like that, they really let fall through the cracks and didn't need, and my client bought the property and kept her, but she didn't have the skills to really take her any further. So she did eventually get her loaded up on a trailer and sent her my way, and this is a video of me getting her started. You can see she's a pretty unconfident mare, likes to move her feet when she gets unconfident, very unconfident on her back half, from the shoulder back, you know, very, very unconfident. I work a little bit with desensitizing her with her hind legs and that sort of thing. So hopefully you'll enjoy it, and hopefully you'll see that, you know, I can handle a horse that hasn't been handled much, and, you know, this is how far I can take one in 1 hour. So Look forward to meeting you guys in just a few weeks, and I will see you then.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome from Woodstock, Georgia, Betsy Moles and Whispering Hills Smooth Jazz.
It's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good.
Hate this darn machine.
Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new life for me. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean.
Betsy, 30 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, Betsy Moles, Whispering Hills Smooth Jazz. That was awesome.
Very nice. Very nice.
Riding my horse one day, I had a flash and I heard him say, it's more than leather that you hold. When you take the reins, you know. It isn't some kind of magic between animal and man. whisper. It's a desire to understand, and you can do it too if you put your heart in your hands. Walking my dog one day, in a busy mind I was miles away. Those eyes were looking straight at me, waiting for some love to run through that leash. It isn't some kind of magic between animal and man. It's a desire to understand. You can do it too if you put your heart in your hands. Take the time to touch. They demand so little, they give so much. More than a word or a whisper, it's a desire to understand, and you can do it too. I can do it too. You can do it too if you put your heart in your hands. Don't even want to take the time to say goodbye. Just want to ride my pony underneath the clear blue sky. That's the only kind of love I seem to understand. Just the two of us. The rain's burning in my hands. I see the light in his eyes, and I see who I am. I wanna ride my pony, forget the things you said to me, like the wind, till I'm free again. I wanna feel the thunder, I wanna breathe his dignity, like the wind, till I'm free again, till I'm me again, till I'm free. I've gotta get it out. I wanna love you, but I can't, the way I'm feeling right now. That's just the way love is. Sometimes you get thrown, and if you live without thinking, you gotta get right back on. see the truth in his eyes, and I know who I am. I wanna ride my pony, forget the things you said to me, like the wind, till I'm free again. I wanna feel the thunder, I wanna breathe his dignity, like the wind, till I'm free again. Till I'm free again, till I'm me again.